Thank you for watching another episode of Dvar Malchus. This from the 5th of Teves, 5752. We are on page 333. Happy Hanukkah. Today, the 5th of Teves, Teves, is connected to the freeing of the Pidyon Shavuim, of the books of the manuscripts of the Rebbes, of our leaders that are in the library of Chabad Lubavitch under the jurisdiction of my revered father-in-law, the Rebbe, leader of our generation. And these days are remembered, celebrated, transpire that when this day arrives every year, they are remembered. And through this, the matters that were accomplished the first time transpire. And based on the words of the Mishnah, a mitzvah brings along another mitzvah. The fulfillment of one mitzvah brings the person that fulfills the mitzvah to fulfill yet another mitzvah, and especially and mainly fulfills this mitzvah itself, which this is the rule regarding every mitzvah. And most certainly regarding the great mitzvah of redeeming captives, it is understood that the mitzvah and concept of redeeming captives that was accomplished on the day of Teves, which is similar to redeeming captives in a similar sense, caused to bring along that we should fulfill more mitzvahs, and in particular and mainly the mitzvah of redeeming captives. And regarding this matter of redeeming captives itself, in these days there is a group of books along with the manuscripts that are together with these books which are waiting for their redemption from captivity, namely that they are to be returned to their true owner, the leader of our generation, my father-in-law, the Rebbe, to be returned to his 4 cubits, which are together with the 4 cubits of the synagogue, study hall, and house of good deeds, an act of kindness, in particular the house of the Rebbe in the diaspora. And being that one mitzvah brings along another mitzvah, is understood likewise in the case that the fulfillment of the mitzvah, redeeming of the captives on the 5th of Teves, brings along as well as the fulfillment of the mitzvah of redemption and return of the above-mentioned books and manuscripts. And may we add the above-mentioned phenomenon of one mitzvah brings along another mitzvah, from one mitzvah of Pidyon Shavuim, redeeming captives, to a second mitzvah of Pidyon Shavuim, is even more emphasized when it's regarding the releasing and redemption of books. Books of Torah are of wisdom, and within this self a holy wisdom, and the wisdom of the Torah. From this it's understood that every book in Torah is necessary for all other books, since through the study and knowledge of this book, an addition in comprehension of other books is attained. Likewise, also regarding our case, being that the completeness of study of the previous books whose redemption was accomplished on the 5th of Teves is dependent on the study of the books that are found presently in captivity. Hence, this completeness of the redemption of the books on the 5th of Teves, it is when this brings about the redemption of the mentioned books and all the other books which are still waiting for their redemption. And especially that they are both part of one library, the library of Chabad Lubavitch, under the leadership of my revered father-in-law, the Rebbe, leader of our generation. Furthermore, and this is essential, moreover, it is essential matter, the mitzvah of redeeming captives on the 5th of Teves brings about similar to one mitzvah leads to another mitzvah. Also the true and complete redemption of captives by Hashem, the redemption of all the Jewish people and all matters of Torah, as well as matters in general, from exile to true and complete redemption. And when we add this, that also the idea and connection of Pidyon Shavuim to the redemption is especially emphasized regarding the returning of the books, and known that the redemption is dependent on the redemption and refinement and elevation of all the sparks of holiness that are in captivity, in the concealment of the world. And being that all matters begin with and are drawn from the Torah, it is understood that the power from this, or rather the power for this, comes from the phenomenon similar to it in Torah, redemption of matters of Torah that are in captivity. Another point, in connection of these two matters, the true redemption of the captives and victory of these books is obvious, specifically when through these there are an addition in study of books, including mainly in the study of these books. From this it is understood that the 5th of Teves must cause a strengthening in addition to the study of Torah books, beginning with the first book, the oral Torah, the book of Mishnah. And based on this, it is yet greater understood how the redemption of books leads to the general redemption of Gula. It's clearly stated in the verse, Sion will be redeemed with law, meaning that through the Torah study, which specifically this constitutes the true victory and redemption of the books, as mentioned above, the redemption of Sion, Yerushalayim, is accomplished, and especially through the study of the books, beginning with the book of Mishnah, as the words of our sages, all these exiles are redeemed only in the merit of the Mishnah. And Sion will redeem with law. and Zion will be redeemed with law, is yet more emphasized through the study of the books that were redeemed. And to add that from this is also understood regarding action, that the event of 5th Teves may lead to the first and foremost a strengthening and addition in Torah study of the book, including the beginning with the study of the Mishnah, which brings about from the redemption of the books, we come right to the redemption of the Gula, as mentioned above, and through the resolutions alone, for since Hashem sees that these are true resolutions and they will be certainly fulfilled, the resolutions themselves affect the same exact as had the Mishnah been already studied. And we may add and connect all the above elusive speaking to the Parsha of the week, Parshas V'yegash. It says in the Zohar that V'yegash Elev Yehuda, and Yehuda approached him. In the concept of redemption being adjacent to prayer, and from the blessing of He redeemed the Jewish people, we immediately, without any interruption, begin the Amidah prayer, beginning with the verse, Hashem, open my lips, which is considered an extension of the Amidah. The main reason for redemption being adjacent to prayer is that so the prayer be accepted, so that He says in Yerushalayim, whoever does not pray for the right after the redemption, what is he compared to? To a dear friend of the king who came to Veheretek and knocked on the king's door. He came out to see what he wanted, and he saw that he left, and he too went away. The king also disregarded him. Similar in our case. And the 5th of Teves is a day related to the phenomenon of redemption, the redemption of the books of the Rebbes, of our leaders. As mentioned earlier, and immediately following the redemption, there is a prayer for request for the books that are still waiting for their redemption. Furthermore, and mainly the prayer for the general redemption of the true and complete redemption. And through the prayer being right after the redemption, and in our case, that the above mentioned are adjacent to the accomplishment of redemption, the redemption of captives that was accomplished on this day, the 5th of Teves, is accomplished that Hashem should accept the prayer of the Jewish people and immediately redeem all the books and redeem all the Jewish people in the true and complete redemption. And with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters, we go together with all our books, both the books that we already returned as well as the books and manuscripts which are going to be returned literally immediately to our holy land, based on what is written in the continuation to Zion. We will be redeemed with laws as its captives with tzedakah. Namely, tzedakah accomplishes concept of redeeming captives, as the words of our great sages is tzedakah, for it hastens the redemption. We will know, making every one of your messengers to give tzedakah. We will give each person $2, $1 bill, which each person can use for what they decide. The second dollar bill to be given to tzedakah. And may it be the will of Hashem that the fulfillment of the mitzvah of tzedakah should not only hasten the redemption, which has hastening had different degrees and manners, rather this should be hastening similar to that of the redemption adjacent to prayer, that is with no interruption at all, namely that through the action of tzedakah we immediately have, and even before this, the continuation of speaking about all this, the true and complete redemption through Mashiach, together with Eliyahu the prophet, who is remembered for good, who announces the redemption, and automatically we will give the tzedakah and all the holy matters following this in our holy land, in our holy city, and in our holy mountain. And if, heaven forbid, there will be a delay, everyone will give it in its place and city, adding more tzedakah from his own money. Furthermore, and mainly with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters, men and women, and children, fly with the clouds of heaven, together with the good resolution regarding tzedakah and good deeds in general, and in the detail in the Holy Land, and there in Jerusalem, the holy city on the holy mountain, and the third Beis Hamikdash, and literally, immediately, and then the Rebbe gave each person present, may they live, $2, one to do with it they please, and a second to give or exchange for tzedakah. Thank you for watching. Hag Sameach, Avrei Lecha Hanukkah.